So we should all know by now that Jannik Sinner is not allowed to play tennis for the next 3 months. He won't be back until the start of May when he comes back for the Rome Open or the Italian Open, and he'll miss the next few big tournaments. Of course, Indian Wells, Miami, he's not going to be playing those, but there is a little bit of, I guess, clarification needed around what his training is allowed to be, because there was a ban from training up until April. What does that actually mean? Let's go have a look at what that actually does mean. So there's an article here explaining a little bit more about the ITIA, explaining what the training allowance is. So in the article it reads, as the ITIA explained to us, the suspended tennis player can train with his own support staff as long as he does not do so in a place connected to a national association, the ATP, the ITF, the WTA, the Grand Slams, or an event covered by our regulations. Simone Vagnozzi and Darren Cahill will therefore be able to continue to be at his side actively even in this difficult period, and it should not be difficult to find private structures where they can organize physical and on-the-court preparation in view of the return scheduled for the Italian internationals. So there you have it. That is the explanation, and that's interesting to see that they can go and find a private venue that is not related to any of those regular or those places that are under the regulations and go play. I mean, he could literally build a tennis court in his backyard, I guess, and have Darren Cahill come over and help him out. Very interesting to see. Of course, if you didn't know, he also pulled out of an exhibition event that's coming up in Las Vegas. He's been replaced by Casper Ruud there. That was at the start of March. Now, there was some speculation that he might be able to play that because that might not be under the regulations, but some exhibitions maybe are covered by that, so maybe he pulled out because he wasn't allowed to play that. But he's allowed to train. So the ban until April for training does not mean that he cannot train tennis at all. He can pick up a racket, he can play tennis, he doesn't just have to lift weights and go for a run every day for the next 2 months until that first suspension is up. But there it is. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think this is fair? Do you think he should be stuck inside and not allowed to pick up a tennis racket? He should be suspended from touching a racket or talking to Darren Cahill? But he's allowed to do all of those things as long as it's not under a tournament or under a regulated space, a Grand Slam, a national association, or somewhere where the ATP or WTA play. But there it is. Jannik Sinner will be able to train while he is suspended.